All right, Shalom Akim. Want to begin this lesson by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the head apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Honors to all you brothers that's also laboring in his work, pushing out this gospel in all diligence, truth, faith, and sincerity. So yeah, I just want to get into a quick lesson concerning the times and seasons. Because we're in the season of the destruction of America, all right? According to the Bible. Because you got a lot of people out there who claim to know the Bible and understand these scriptures, yet they will refute that statement I made, all right? You got men that claim to build a foundation off the Bible, but they can't digest the concept that America is actually in the Bible, all right? And not only is America recorded in the Bible, but the fate of America is found in the Bible. And the reason why a lot of people can't grasp that, all right, and that's such a huge stumbling block for them, because they perceive this book as being an ancient and primitive book, all right? Their main rallying cry is, well, that book was written thousands of years ago. How could it speak on such a modern kingdom, all right? They can't fathom a primitive or ancient book in their eyes coexisting with a modern kingdom, all right? But in this lesson, we're going to prove through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai that America is found in the Bible. And not only is America recorded in the Bible, but the fate of America, all right? So I want to just get right into it. This is the book of Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 7, and starting at verse 17. For he hath given me certain knowledge of things that are, namely to know how the world was made and the operation of the elements, right? So this is the Lord himself speaking, man, who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ, all right? Which the proper pronunciation in the ancient Hebrew tongue is Yahweh Shai, all right? And he's giving you a briefing on all the things that he was equipped with, all right? The knowledge that he possessed, all right? The knowledge of the elements, all right? How the world was made. Verse 18, the beginning, ending, and midst of the times, right? So this is one of the attributes of the Lord. He has the power to know the beginning, which is the past, the midst, which is the present, and the ending of times, which is the future. All right? So if the Lord have that power, he possessed that type of power, why wouldn't he make mention of America, man? All right? America being the most wickedest kingdom ever erected. All right? You got transgenders, homosexuals, you know, laws set up to protect homosexuals. You could do as thou wilt. All right, if you want to have your rod cut off, you know, this place is built on witchcraft. You go into that transition of becoming a man to a woman. They give you medication, which is nothing more than witchcraft, like I mentioned, to boost up your estrogen and lower your testosterone, making you more feminine. Why wouldn't the Lord mention a place such as America, man? All right, the Lord would take the time to mention ancient Egypt. All right, the rise of different kingdoms, the rise and fall of the Medo-Persian Empire. Yet the Lord won't make mention of America. All right, it doesn't make sense. So again, it says the beginning, ending, and midst of the times, the alterations of the turning of the sun, and the change of seasons, which, by the way, is another way of saying the changing of the guard. All right. Seasons is dealing with kingdoms as well. When one kingdom rise, then it fall, well, that's pretty much equivalent to the change of the climate of the earth, the change of a season, of the change of the seasons, all right? And we're in the seasons of a kingdom being changed. The power that's ruled the earth, all right? America starting with the so-called white man, all right? We're in the season where he's about to fall. And this is actually recorded in the Bible, all right? Now I want to get another quick precept to support what I just read, all right, before we really get into this lesson. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 1 and verse 8. I am Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the ending, right? Which Alpha and Omega simply means the beginning and ending, all right? And this is the Lord, Yahweh Shai speaking, man. He's saying he's the beginning and ending. So if he have the knowledge and wisdom of the beginning and the ending, why would he skip over America? He just left America out. America had the power to elude the prophecies, man. Of course not, man. America is well documented throughout these scriptures, man. All right? It says, saith the Lord, which is, and which was, and which is to come, the Almighty, which is another way of saying the past, present, and the future. So with that established, America must be recorded in the Bible, man. Why would the Lord leave out this wicked place? But what you got to realize is this book is a dark, hidden book, all right? It's not for everybody unless the Spirit of the Lord has rested on you. This book is pretty much going to be a riddle or a parable to you, all right? It's going to be a stumbling block. This is the book of Matthew, chapter 13, in verse 15. For this people heart is waxed gross, and their eyes are dull of Salakia, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed. See? So these people, their ears are closed, man, and their eyes are closed, meaning they can't understand this Bible. All right? It says, least at any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and should understand with their heart and should be converted, and I should heal them. Verse 16, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. So right there, there's a clear separation where the Lord has distinguished between people. Some people he gave the vision to understand what these scriptures is talking about, and others he blinded, which is basically the majority of you people out there, man. There's a small reserved number of men on the planet who the Lord has opened our eyes to understand these scriptures. That's why we clearly see that America is found in the Bible. Now, you're not going to see that word America in the Bible, obviously, which that shouldn't be a head scratcher, man. You shouldn't marvel at that. Why? Because in the time where these prophecies was written, the people had a limited vocabulary. When the prophets saw visions, let's say concerning the missiles, all right, they was not going to use that terminology. They wasn't going to write that word missiles down. They used the terms what they would use back then. They would compare the missiles to fiery serpents, all right, darts and arrows, all right. So that's one of the stumbling blocks to you people out there. You look for the word America in the Bible, man. See? This is the book of Jeremiah, chapter 51, starting at verse 1. Thus saith the Lord, behold, I will raise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me a destroying wind. Right? So you got to ask yourself, who is this Babylon? Now, a lot of historians and people who have a feel for history, they would say that this is dealing with ancient Babylon, all right? But we know that this is dealing with America. By the way, when you go into that word Babylon, the Hebrew word there is Babal, which means confusion. And this place is confusion, man, all right? If you decide to step to a woman, you got to seriously consider if that's a man or not. And I'm not joking or being facetious. I'm being dead serious, man. That's a form of confusion, man, in this country, man. All right? You have homeless people laying on the streets, you know, ain't got $1 in their pocket, yet they'll pay a guy $100 million to shoot a damn basketball, all right? Or you can go on a game show, Wheel of Fortune, and win thousands of dollars. That's confusion right there, all right? Among many other things, all right? So we just read in Jeremiah concerning this place Babylon. Well, a lot of people would try to argue that and say that that's talking about ancient Babylon. Well, explain this. This is the book of Revelation, the 18th chapter, starting at verse 1. Now, mind you, Revelation is the last book in the Bible. Keep that in mind. All right, Revelation 18:1. And after these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lightened with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon the great is fallen, is fallen. Right, now I want to ask all you guys who say that this is talking about ancient Babylon, and you historians. All right, when ancient Babylon fell, did an angel descend out of the sky and shouted with a mighty voice? All right? Answer that. Of course not, man. This is a future prophecy. And again, you got to ask yourself, just using common sense, why would thousands of years later in the book of Revelation, the Lord make mention of a kingdom that's already fallen, man? This is dealing with modern day Babylon, which is America. And I gave you the definition of that word, America, man. I mean, Babylon. It means confusion. All right? Now I'm going to jump to verse 3. This is still talking about Babylon, all right? It says, for all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. Yeah, in this place, America, all the nations flock to this place, man. If you ever examine any of these universities, well, the main people that's over here are these people that pinch their tents, all right? They got these stores out here in America. These are all the other nations, man. They come over here, all right, and they drink that wine of America. What's that wine? The philosophies, man. These other nations is drunk off this American juice, man. You got different nations, so-called Arabs and Eastern Indians, Chinese, Africans, all right, Japanese. You got different nationalities that come over here and they actually forget all about their customs. You see them with cell phones, all right. They women, they probably, in their homeland, they probably had to cover themselves up. But over here, they wearing leggings and spandex, walking, talking on the phone, going to eat fast food, going to nightclubs, going into these universities, all right? That's these nations drunk of the wine of her fornication, meaning they digested the American way. It says, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her. Yeah, meaning they have left their customs and they fornicating spiritually with this place, America. All right, there's men, you see them all the time, these young Arab guys. All right, they you know, they customs go back to Islam or whatever. They'll come over here and now you see them wearing fitty hats. They taking on this culture of America, going to these nightclubs, listening to the music. All right, out here. It says, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. Yeah, and that's what you see these different foreigners come over here. They mainly come over here to get rich, man. All right? So Revelation, the 18th chapter, when it mentions Babylon, is dealing with America. Now, when you go back and read Jeremiah 51 again, it says, thus saith the Lord, behold, I will rise up against Babylon and against them that dwell in the midst of them that rise up against me, a destroying wind. And what's that destroying wind? Those nuclear missiles, man. And before that happened, the Lord is going to use a lot of so-called natural disasters like these hurricanes, tornadoes. That's a part of that destroying wind. And that's being fulfilled, man. Verse 2, and was sent unto Babylon fanners that shall fan her and shall empty her land, for in the day of trouble they shall be against her round about. Verse 3, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow. And this is dealing with missiles, man. All right, that bow is would be the modern day silo, and that arrow would be the missile. So the Lord is telling you in the prophecy how America is ultimately going to be taken out. All these different nations is going to come into one confederate, and they're going to turn against America, man. Even America's allies. Verse 3 again, against him that bendeth, let the archer bend his bow, and against him that lifteth himself up in his Bridgerdyne, and spare ye not her young men, destroy ye utterly all her house. See? Thus the slain shall fall in the land of the Chaldeans, which Chaldean is another word for magicians. And all these people out here in America is modern day witches, sorcerers. All right? They take medication, they smoke weed, crack, meth. They deal with witchcraft. These women put makeup on. That's a form of witchcraft. And ultimately, they're rebellious. That's the ultimate form of witchcraft, all right? It says, and they that are thrust through in her streets. See? Now, let me get another quick scripture. This is the book of Isaiah. Isaiah chapter 47 and verse 1. Come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. There go that word Babylon again. All right? See, when you read these scriptures, it's all talking about, mainly this book is a build up to the destruction of the most wickedest place ever, man. All right? This place exceeds Sodom and Gomorrah, all right? Ancient Egypt, ancient Babylon. Well, this modern day Babylon the Great, America, where the Lord is actually outlining the destruction of this place, man, throughout the Bible. So again, it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon, which is a clear indication that this is not talking about ancient Babylon. It's saying virgin daughter of Babylon, meaning that this place is going to come after Babylon. If you got a daughter out there, did not your daughter come after you? Wasn't you on the earth first? So when it says virgin daughter of Babylon, obviously it's not talking about ancient Babylon. It's talking about modern Babylon, which is America, all right? It says there is no throne, right? And we coming into those times where there's no throne. This place is being confounded. You got these different nations pulling back from the American dollar. A lot of these nations looking at America with disdain. This place has lost its luster, all right? So it says, come down and sit in the dust, O virgin daughter of Babylon. Sit on the ground. There is no throne. O daughter of the Chaldeans, for thou shalt no more be called tender and delicate. Right. At one point, this place was called tender and delicate, man. Everybody was trying to get over here to America. All right? But now we're in the times where people actually hissing at this place, man. They abhor this place. These different nations, they see the hypocrisy of America. All right? How treacherously America deals with these different nations. And ultimately, it's going to come to a point where these different nations is going to actually turn on America and they're going to destroy America, man. For all you people who don't believe that America's in the Bible, well, guess what? America's in the Bible, and not only that, but the fate of America is in the Bible, man. All right? This is Revelation chapter 17. And starting at verse 15, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, and the whore is who? America, man. That's why the scripture I opened up with, the other nations had committed fornication with her. They left their customs, all right, and they came over here and committed fornication with this place, because this place is compared to a whore because it's enticing. It would entice you. Just like a whore, man. All right? So it says, and he said unto me, the waters which thou sawest, where the whore sitteth, and one symbolic relic is the Statue of Liberty, that woman that's standing on the waters, all right? It says, where the whore sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues. That's right, because this place is known as a great melting pot, all right? All the different nations come here to America. You go to New York, you go to any of these big cities, man. Anywhere, you're going to see every nationality here, all right? Verse 16, and the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore. And this is dealing with NATO and all these different countries, man. They actually hate America. Even her allies. There was an incident happened maybe a year ago where even Germany, which is an ally of America, they found America spying on them, man. And there's a lot of cases out there where these countries is getting tired of America, man. It's saying the 10 horns which thou sawest upon the beast, these shall hate the whore, and shall make her desolate and naked, and shall eat her flesh and burn her with fire. That's right. That's dealing with the fate of America again. The fact that America is actually going to be destroyed with missiles. They're going to eat her flesh and burn her with fire. And again, this is a parable, proving that it's not going to just say, well, NATO, Germany, all right, Russia, China, North Korea, they're going to hate America and they're going to shoot missiles. No, it's not going to say that, man. All right? So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope there was an edifying lesson. Until the next time I say, Shalom.